Yo, what's up guys? So today we're going to be showcasing off the Machina Metal Crunch inside of Infinitracks over here. So what this card does is a lot of different things for obviously Machina, but you can splash this into a lot of different machine decks, specifically Earth machines, which Infinitracks, that's a really easy no-brainer. But when you summon this card, if you control no face-up cards, so basically turn 1, or I guess going second, you get to normal summon this card without tributing. Its original type becomes 1800, but if this card is normal or special summon, you get to reveal 3 Earth machine monsters from your deck, and your opponent randomly picks one for you to add it to your hand, and then you shuffle the rest back into the deck. Now that's obviously really good with a lot of different decks because that allows you to, you can reveal 3 copies of the same card and guarantee yourself that one card. Now it is going to be a level 9. I wish it was level 10 or just had the ability to change its level because that would actually make it more viable for rank 10 trains. But nonetheless, it's still a pretty cool card. And it definitely adds a lot more consistency, as you guys saw, with instantly being able to go ahead and go right into machine dupe. A lot more consistency for the deck, because Infinitracks have, I would say, one really good target. They technically have more than one, which we'll get into when we go over the build over here. But I just wanted to go ahead and showcase off something that I haven't seen it too often, which is being able to see Infinitracks actually pretty decently taking some games. I know UA is not the most meta in 2020, but nonetheless, being able to bounce back a bunch of cards and swing for 6k, that's, yeah, pretty good in most people's books anyways. But we got a lot of different duels over here. This one's, I would say, more on the meta-ish side, because you throw dangers in anything, and they become very viable. This one is going to be up against the new pirate archetype, the Plunder Patrols, which are a pretty decent-looking archetype, and they might actually be pretty good in the future. Anyways, he's going to go ahead and go for a Blackbeard and then go past. This is a very reactive deck during your opponent's turn, as you guys will see over here. So he's going to go ahead and bring out another card. He's going to bring out the Trencher. Once again, that machine dupe with the Trencher play. He's going to go ahead and demise the land, so no effects here, but he's also got that activation of the instant fusion, so he can make 2 copies of the River Stormer over here. And then this one is allowing him to potentially, if the card survives, you're able to go ahead and detach a material, take an Earth Machine from your deck, and either add it to your hand instead of the graveyard, so it's +1 over there. And then if this card is in the graveyard, you can contribute 1 Machine Link monster, and then just re-special summon back this card. So he's going to go ahead and also bring out the Moark over here, and Moark's going to go ahead and activate that effect, and he's going to go ahead and change that to fire over there, and he's going to go ahead and lose out on one of his cards, because that's kind of how the Plunder Patrol works over here. They are all about changing the different, like, Earth, Water, Wind, Fire, and then kind of just getting around some of the mechanics in the game. But he's also got a 4,000 Plunder Patrol ship brand, so we're going to go ahead and see a Snatch Steal over here, and then he's going to go ahead and just start bringing back more of the Infinitracks, go ahead and exceed into the Earth Shaker, and once this card gets its effect, it's really difficult to really do something for the opponent once that effect resolves. So it just goes ahead and just pops a bunch of stuff, and then from here he's going to go ahead and be able to make the Goliath. He's going to go ahead and attack and absorb. Now he's going to go ahead and have a really strong CyberDragon Infinity, and with only 1 card up on the board, Patrol Helm, and then him going to Summon Rock, it doesn't really matter. Like, whatever effect you activate, obviously CyberDragon Infinity is going to go ahead and just kind of get rid of it. But anyways, we got a few more duels to kind of show off how the deck can play against a few different matchups here. And DDDs are actually one of the archetypes that really benefit off of the new Master Rule 2020 because they just have a lot more room to work with. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and see Needle Fiber come out. So he's going to have an extra, maybe Disruption here. He's going to go ahead and bring out Ragnarok, go right into number 38, and a Link Haribo, as well as a Genghis to give him an additional potential summon. And then Catalyst is going to say no to the extra draw power, but then we have Heavy Forward over here, so this is just 1 card to add an Infinitrack monster from his deck to his hand, so even more consistency if you don't happen to have the new Machina card. But we're going to go ahead and see the River Stormer, and this card is great. Again, that's a card that lets you go ahead and have that potential to search, but we're going to go ahead and exceed on top of exceeds for the Colossal Mountain. And this card has the effect where you attach a material, it can gain an extra 1,000 attack, and then if this card is in your graveyard, you contribute 1 Machine Link monster to special summon this in defense position. A lot of the cards are just kind of stacking cards on top of each other, even using your opponent's cards sometimes as material for the card. So he's going to go ahead and be able to get that effect of Genghis, and then also the Swirl Slime over here, and he's going to go ahead and make Star Yugioh draw some extra cards, potentially. And see what he gets. He's going to go ahead and get the Copernicus. and then he's going to go ahead and grab that, get the other effect of Genghis over here, bring out the, oh gosh, this is too fast to commentate. Bring out the ghost, and then he's going to go ahead and have a Dawndrax for a double negate now. So he's going to go ahead and just be able to detach and finally get over that card that was kind of a problem. And Instant Fusion is going to go ahead and get stopped by the Dawndragster. But that was a bait for, of course, the Desires in main phase 2. And then he's going to go ahead and machine dupe and bring out his boys. And then Infinitrack, the Brutal Dozer is indeed here as well. He's going to go ahead and recycle, get a little Pot of Avarice effect, and then bring out another Smasher, and then Exceed on top of Exceeds. And then when this card comes out, once again, Earth Slicer just obliterates the board. And, well, you're not going to be doing anything with just having Kepler over here. Which is unfortunate for him. But the last duel over here is really cool because it shows how this deck can kind of play around, I guess, Unicorn, because the monsters are just simply a little bit stronger. Unicorn was a really insane card at the time that it came out. Well, still, in fact, in 2020, this card is still really good. It can completely shut down and lock people out from playing completely. But again, Metal Cruncher is the star player here, and it's kind of just showing how good this card is. So he's going to go ahead and be able to reveal any 3 copies of whatever he wants to go ahead and go for. And that's why I think this card is just really strong with an opener if you are playing a deck that does not need its normal summon. So he's going to go ahead and just be able to run right over that card just because it has 2500 attack. Even though its effects are negated, it doesn't really matter too much because, well, it's just got more attack than him. Now he's going to go ahead and establish a board here. And then once again, Earth Slicer going to go ahead and just get rid of everything. And he even absorbed his opponent's card over here, so he can't be bringing it back anytime soon. Not that it was going to really happen. And then on top of that, we've also got the Outrigger Expand. So this is extra protection for the archetype, or makes it so your opponent cannot target machine exceeds monsters you control with card effects. And it has a bonus effect where you can target Infinitrack, and then you get to special summon another one, but 2 ranks higher. So it's a protection, plus it's kind of like a rank up, if you will, for the archetype, which is pretty cool because it's a once per turn, so you can keep on utilizing that effect, and it has that continuous protection effect. But anyways, this is indeed the Infinitrack deck profile. So shout out to my boy Chad for hooking me up with this deck profile over here, because I honestly have not seen anyone play Infinitracks, so I didn't want to cover it because they did technically get new support. In fact, basically a lot of archetypes got new support with the Machina Metal Crunch. But I will be making a Machina, like, full Machina video, but I wanted to go and show it off how good this is in other decks. But anyways, 3 copies of Metal Crunch, because again, it literally searches out whatever you need in the deck. With the exception of if you want to play 2 copies of a card, then, well, you're going to have to get a little bit of luck there. I guess it's kind of in your favor. It's 2 out of 3 because your opponent randomly picks one, and you just pick 2 of that one, and one maybe another random one. But anyways, we got 3 copies again, Metal Cruncher, 2 copies of the Road Header, then 2 copies of the Cancer Crane over here. I didn't really go over any of the Infinitrack's effects, but I honestly don't really know the Infinitracks that well. I do know what the heck Earth Slice or Earth Shaker does, because he comes out and he just pops everything, and then he just goes ahead. And a lot of times people will just go ahead and go right into this card, and they'll be OTKing you. That's what I know from the Infinitrack archetype. But anyways, 3 copies of the Brutal Dozer. And if you guys want to make some suggestions for this deck, let me know down below in the comment section below, because like I said, I don't want to give you guys wrong advice because I'm just kind of unfamiliar with the deck. But we have 1 copy of the Drag Shovel, and then 3 copies of the Trencher. This is like the really good target for your machine duplication. Then we got 2 copies of the Roy Railcart Flying Pegasus over here. Let's do target a Earth machine monster and graveyard except for itself, and then you can just special summon it in defense position and negates its effect. But if you're going to exceed on top of it, or like use it as tribute for going for another thing, it doesn't really matter. But you cannot declare attacks during the turn you activate this effect, except for with Exceed monsters, which is 99% of the time that's what you go for anyways. In the one of the first turns over here, we did see him go for the Uber Boss monster turn 1, which is the Megaton Gale, which is unaffected by other monsters' effects except for Exceed monsters. And some decks just simply don't have it, so that basically means it's immune to like most of the stuff that your opponent would have as an out to it. But anyways, next up we have 3 copies of the Rock Anchor and 3 copies of Harvester. Harvester can also be a target technically with Machine Tube. And then we got 3 copies of Instant Fusion for our boss monster, Parapsychroid, absolutely amazing effect. We have 2 machine monsters, and it can attack directly for 1600. Man, it's too good. Honestly, no, it's just because of its level, and of course, it is a machine. And then we got 2 copies of Desires, 3 copies of Machine Do. Then this card is just here for Master Rule. And then we've got 3 copies of Urgent Schedule. This card is really excellent. We didn't even get to see it in action, but this card, when you're playing it and if you're going first and you just set it past, like, it can still be a really, really awesome card, especially with a bunch of the Machina to proc the effects that you'd be getting in the graveyard. Is really, really good. And this card, if you have it, you just have a huge chance to win with this card alone. And this is also one of the newer cards in the game. This is heavy forward, so when this card is activated, you get to just search out an Infinitrack monster from your deck to your hand, and then once per turn you target a machine exceeding monster you control, and then you get to change this but out of position or attach this card to it as material. So it has double effects. After already getting a free, like, well, you automatically just replace itself with the search for that extra Infinitrack, but then you also have those bonus effects. And then we got 2 copies of the Outrigger extension over here, so that's the protection card I mentioned at the very end of the last replay. Then we have Spin Turn over here, and then we've got the Crusher Run. For the extra deck, we got 2 copies of the Parapsychroid, 1 copy of the Juggernaut Libe, and then 2 copies of Earth Slicer, the Game Winner, and then 2 copies of Colossal Mountain, 1 copy of Infinity, 2 copies of the River Storm, and then 1 copy of Nova, of course, for your Infinity, 1 copy of the Megaton Gale, the boss monster in the deck, and then 3 copies of Goliath over here. So it's just basically just to go into other, it's a stepping stone card for the most part. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed seeing the Infinitrack featuring the new Metal Crunch card. If you guys want to make suggestions, let me know down below in the comment section below, because like I said, I'm a little bit unfamiliar with this archetype. But I know a lot of people tried making this deck, but I just haven't seen one that was like as good as this one. But anyways, thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like on it. If you are new here, hit subscribe, turn on that bell so you don't miss out on new Yu-Gi-Oh deck profiles. Like, of course, we'll be getting gameplay of the Machina one very soon. And if you guys want to send in any replays of decks like this one over here, feel free to go ahead and send in the replays as well as the YDK file, so I get the deck profile and it'll be featured on the channel. But thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a good one, and I'm out. Peace.